Started.
Hello everyone, my name is Sanika Sonawane, and on behalf of our entire team, Harshal More and Raj Mai, we'd like to start with our VLSI mini project. Today we are exploring one of the most critical trade-offs in modern chip design, voltage scaling and stability in 60 versus 12T SRAM cells based on our experimental study in 180 nanometer CMOS. Let's start with why this matters. We are all facing the low voltage SRAM challenge. The entire electronics industry, from tiny IoT sensors to critical medical implants, is pushing for multi year battery life. This demands chips that can run on extremely low power, meaning operation well below half a volt. But there's a fundamental problem. The most common on chip memory, the 60 SRAM cells, becomes unstable below zero point 0.8 volts. This is due to an issue called read disturbed, where the very act of reading the data can actually corrupt it. This zero point 0.8 volt floor is a major roadblock. It prevents us from achieving the aggressive power reduction we need. Our project set out to analyze a solution to this exact problem. Slide change. To understand the problem, let's first look at the cause. This is the conventional 60 SRAM cell. It's the industry standard because it's small, dense, and uses only 6 transistors. But as you can see from its architectural limitation, its core flaw is the shared read and write path. The same transistors are used to both access the data and hold the data. This shared design is precisely what causes the read disturbed. It's area efficient, but it's fundamentally flawed for low voltage operation. Next slide. This brings us to our proposed solution, the 12T SRAM architecture. The key innovation here is simple but incredibly powerful: path separation. We keep the same 6 transistor storage core, but we add a dedicated write port and a completely separate, isolated read port. By doing this, the read operation never physically touches the storage nodes. The results are dramatic. As the specs show, read disturb is completely eliminated because it's so stable. It can operate all the way down to zero point 0.3 volts. But of course, there is no free lunch in VLSI. This amazing stability comes at a cost. By doubling the transistors to 12, the cell is now 4.82 times larger. So this is the central trade-off we studied, the high density of 60 versus the ultra low voltage of the 12T. Now I like to hand it over to Raj.
Thank you, Sanika, for your insightful information. 20 SRAMs gives 2.6 times more static noise margin improvement compared to the 60 RAM, which increases the lower read and write voltages, and it scales at 1 volts. Even in the 1 volts, 20 SRAM maintains systematic butterfly curves as seen in the slide. Next slide. Moving on to the read and write operation, the 60 SRAM cells read distribution issues are present, and reading the cells can lead to alter the stored data, while the 12T SRAM eliminates the read disturbance by decoupling the read and write path. As shown in the slide, we can clearly see that 12T SRAM has no disturbance while 60 has a bit of disturbance. Next slide. While everything comes at a trade-off, the trade-off is the area. As Sanika said, it is 4 times more the area is required, but the voltage scaling we get is pretty much important for the IoT devices and smaller semiconductor devices. Now moving to the next part, Harshal will guide us.
So thank you, Raj, for your insights. So when it comes to real world use case, there is no one size that fits all SRAM design, as the 60 cell still dominates the high speed cache memory like the CPU and GPU design, where density and performance are more critical than power savings. But for emerging world of new IoT devices, wearables, etc. Every microwatt matters. That's where 12T cell is a game changer. Its ability to operate below zero point 0.6 volt makes it ideal for battery-driven or energy-efficient tasks with a stable, sustained performance. Let's move to next slide to analyze its performance. So a 60 based memory at zero point 0.8 volts consumes around 320 microwatts, giving roughly 39 days of battery life. But switching to 12T operating at just 3.3 volts slashes power to 36 microwatts and extends life to almost a full year. That's 8 to 9 times improvement. Imagine deploying sensors in remote forests or medical implants that don't need frequent maintenance. This is where the true value of voltage scaling becomes real. So, to summarize the 12T SRAM architecture, it eliminates the long standing problem of read disturbance while enabling stable operation down to zero point 0.3 volts. The trade off in area, around 4.8 times larger, is completely justified for ultra low power systems, where longevity is what matters more than the density. Looking ahead, the next steps involve hybrid memory architectures that combine both the strengths of 60 and 12 T cells, as well as scaling down to modern process nodes like 28 nanometer and FinFET technologies. As we move forward, a future dominated by connected devices where embedded memory isn't just smaller, it's smarter and lower in voltage, giving an efficient performance. Thank you.